everyone. My name's Betsye Caughey, and just a little bit of quick background information on myself. I grew up in Ithaca, so I'm a local Ithacan, and I teach writing, English, and history, and I'm contingent faculty at both Ithaca College and at TC3. So for those of you who don't know, the TC3 adjuncts have been facing a lot of similar struggles that the IC contingent faculty have also faced with the administration. But I'm happy to say that last week, PERB, the Public Employee Relations Board, recognized the TC3 Adjunct Association and certified them to represent the adjunct faculty for collective bargaining. So that's really fantastic news to be able to say. So when Megan asked me to speak today, I was super nervous. Here's a secret: even though I teach public speaking, I really hate public speaking. So I have, for all my students, I have a lot of empathy for you guys at this exact moment. So I wasn't really sure exactly what I was going to say or where I was going to start, because even though I'm at TC3 and Ithaca College, I'm not really able to be active as I would like to in both of the unions, and that's because I'm a contingent faculty at two colleges, and I don't really have time to do much outside of work in either of the two unions. So what I'm here to talk to you guys about today really has more to do with my own experiences as adjunct faculty at two colleges. So today is International Women's Day, and so when I was thinking about how to organize this and what I should talk about, I was thinking, what does it mean to be a strong, independent woman? And how has that changed for myself? How has that changed historically? And so the conclusion that I came to was that it was hard in 1880, it was hard in 1950, and in 2017, it's also really hard. And so this is what I tell my daughters on a pretty regular basis, not because I'm trying to be the meanest mama in the world, as they often call me, or to depress them, because it's the truth. Because in addition to teaching, I'm also a single mom, which is honestly, it is my most important job. And being a strong, independent woman and a single mom in 2017 is really hard in and of itself. But as a contingent faculty member at two colleges, that makes it even harder. I teach 5 classes each semester, 2 at Ithaca College and 3 at TC3, and that's the maximum that I'm allowed to teach. And that's if I'm lucky. That's about 5 weeks into the semester. I know all of you, I start panicking because I'm thinking about the semester ahead, and I'm thinking, am I going to get enough classes? Am I going to be able to support my family? And I find myself sort of doing the beg, borrow, steal method, crossing my fingers, throwing salt across the room, all sorts of things to try and ensure that I get the classes that I need for the next semester. And I never know from semester to semester if I'm going to get the classes that I need. And that has a major financial implication on my life. I don't teach 5 classes because I want to. I don't. I love teaching, believe me. I love all my students and I love teaching. But 5 classes is a little much sometimes. And sometimes those 5 classes are all in the same day, so that's a lot. By the 5th class, I'm kind of shot at the end of the day. And that, honestly, it impacts my students. I'm not able to give 100% at 3 o'clock in the afternoon after teaching all day long. So I also have to find other things to do to supplement my income. At TC3, I work with the Vector Scholar Program. I'm one of the faculty mentors over there. It's something that I do absolutely because I believe in the program and I love it, but it's something that I also have to do financially to supplement my income. As you all know, I'm sure, even full-time faculty summers and Christmas break, that's a really difficult time financially. I don't have an income coming in during that time period, and I don't exactly make enough money to put aside for savings either, and so that can be a really difficult time. So oftentimes I teach online or I teach college prep courses, but again, it's extra work that I have to do to try and find those jobs, to try and be able to do that. And so what does a 5 a year course load look like, and how does that translate into my life? That's 100 students a semester. Now, my dad's the one that's the mathematician, but it's 100 students a semester, and because I'm a writing professor and I'm really mean, I usually assign about 4 papers a semester. So that math equals about 400 papers that I grade each semester, and that's not talking about homework assignments or anything else, lesson plans, all the prep that I do in addition to that. It's a lot of work. I get up typically every day at 4:30 in the morning. Part of that's just because I'm a crazy caffeinated morning person, but part of it is because I have to get a lot of work done. Generally speaking, I don't go to bed before 11 o'clock at night. So on top of all that grading and everything else, there is also those 2 children that I have that need to be taken care of. I have to do laundry, dishes, all the household things that I have to do. Walk the dog, which the children said they would do, but they do not actually do that. I also really do try and make some time for myself as well. I'm currently pursuing a PhD in history as well, and so I take a history class, and I do yoga because it's the only way that I can stay sane. And I teach my students it's really important to also be able to take care of yourself, and so I have to model that as well. So there's not a lot of time left in my day. As I mentioned, I grew up in Ithaca. My father taught at Cornell, and I knew that I always wanted to do something in academia or teaching, but I didn't exactly envision that this is what my teaching career would completely look like. Clearly, I did not go into academia to get rich, but I did think that I would be able to make some sort of viable, sustainable living doing something that I really, really love. I make $32,000 a year. And it's really, really difficult as a single mom to be able to live on that income. I have a mortgage, I have bills, and I have $60,000 a year in college loans, and most of that is just primarily from graduate school. I want to be able to acknowledge that I am really, really fortunate. My parents live 2 houses away from me, which is fortunate sometimes, not so much other times, right? But they help me out with my children, and they also do help me out emotionally, and they help me out financially. I'm incredibly fortunate, and I know so many of my colleagues don't have that to be able to fall back upon. But on National Women's Day, as a sort of strong, independent woman who's 42, it's a little bit demoralizing to have to rely on my parents for financial support. I have 2 graduate degrees in history and in literature, and I'm relying on my parents, and I teach at 2 higher education universities, right? And I'm relying on my parents for help. That's really horrifying to me, and it's humiliating. My children and I were on Medicaid. My kids qualify for free lunch, okay? And I think that's absolutely ridiculous. The amount of work that I put in, the dedication that I have to my teaching, and I love it, and it's absolutely worth what I'm doing. I love what I'm doing. The dedication and the quality of education and the level that I feel that I bring into the classroom, I'm not being financially compensated for that, and I think that's ridiculous. I love teaching. I love my students, I love my colleagues, I love where I teach. I love academia because as an Ithacan, you know there's 3 colleges here, and academia is really the culture that I grew up in. As an Ithacan, the other culture that I grew up in is absolutely social justice, and that's a huge part of what I want to talk to you about and what I believe in and why I chose to speak to you today. Because as a strong, independent woman, as a professor, as a mother, I need to model for my daughters, I need to model for my students and everyone else around that if something is wrong, first of all, it's okay to be angry. And secondly, after that period cools off for a second, then you stand up and then you speak out, hopefully not cry in front of an entire press conference. And then you speak out, and then that will effect some kind of change ultimately.
Thank you.